Afternoon everyone, Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. 26th of January in the greenhouse, doing a bit of tidying up, and now I've got my benches all set up. I'm also doing a bit of seed sowing, and this one is what I'm tackling at the moment, which is Eryngium. So let's turn the camera around. So as I say, this is the plant that I'm sowing seed of today, Eryngium Planum, otherwise known as sea holly. It is a perennial. It grows quite easily from seed, but most of the time, to be honest, you end up buying it as either a bare root plant, from a mail order company, or better still, buying it as a ready grown perennial plant from a garden centre. However, I was looking to grow a number of these, or have a number of these, so I thought actually starting from seed was going to be the best value for me. Trying to see whether it's got the price on here. I don't think it has. Oh no, it doesn't, because it's done by the coding. But these were, I think they were £3.20 from memory, something like, it's either £3.20 or £3.40, and it's for one pack of 100 seeds. And well, as I said, we're into January, and so this is sowing time essentially. So you can do January to March, starting indoors, and so I like to think that if we start earlier, then we got a better chance of getting some plants established and going. So as I say, it is classed as, or common name as sea holly. That's because you tend to find it in coastal positions. It looks, say, holly-like. It doesn't really, but it just has spiky leaves. This particular variety has nice sort of bluey grey foliage and stems, and you can see there gets to about 3 foot height, 18 inches wide. Now, like I say, I'm wanting to grow a number of these really so that I can have them out in the front garden. This is a great plant for dry conditions and free draining, and the front garden is, well, both of those things. The front verge gets a lot of neglect, but what I was thinking of doing actually was starting some of these off and doing some into the flower bed, but also some directly into the driveway area, which is just a gravel drive. So yeah, I guess that is the talk on those. Unusually for me, because I tend to sow in modules, I'm not on this one. I'm going to just go into the seed tray. The reason being is that I am going to get these germinated, and then I'll probably prick out half and pop them into some seed trays, or into some cell trays, sorry, that'll be able to establish and get going, ready for planting out into the actual flower beds. And the other ones, well, I'm just going to leave them to sort of do their thing, and then I'll transplant them directly into the driveway. And so that's my thinking behind it. And also, quite frankly, I'm just going to be sowing this one type of seed, so it's easier to start off one of these than it is to use one of the typical mixed cell trays that I tend to use. As is always the way, filled the container with some compost. Just give it a light tamper down so you're getting out the air pockets. Now, with normal seed sowing, I would be giving this a good water. I'm not going to on these because they don't like sitting wet. So what I will do is I'll wait until we've done the seed sow, and then I'll give it a bit of a light damp over the whole lot rather than saturating the base. Written out the label already, that way I don't forget the variety that goes into the tray. Not that this is a problem when I'm just doing one variety. And we'll now get the seeds out, so let's have a look at those. Right, So let's have a look at the seeds, shall we? There we are. So it's quite a large seed. I suppose similar in size to a tomato seed. With let's try and find one with a little wing to it, or tuft. Don't know whether I'm going to be able to pick one up to show you. Don't think you can see that, but it's got sort of a little tufting to the top of it. So just doing a rough coverage over the top, so equal-ish spacing, like so. Just give them a light firming down, so you got good contact, and have a bit of fresh compost. So just doing a layer over the top. Try and pull out the any large lumps that you might have. And that's the only thing with some of this peat-free compost, is that there are more bits of bark added to it, or shreds, blown fibres, to compensate for having reduced peat content. So again, we'll just give it a light firm down, and then run out of water. Let me get a little bit of water. Bear with. Alright, so I've taken the rows off. Just going to try and dribble a bit over the top. Okay, so we've got some water in there, and now just going to put these on the heated benching, and I'll see you when they've germinated. Okay, 27th of February, so month on from seed sowing of the Eryngiums, and you can see they've got pretty good sizing on them. Most have got their first true leaf, which is this leaf here. It's obviously the odd seedling still, even down to one that's just sprouting. But I thought I'd make a start on pricking these out and getting them into the cell trays. So that's just a normal multi-purpose that's gone into the cells, leveled off. Haven't watered it as yet, because what I like to do, prick these out and then give it a water. Then that way the water then helps bed the compost in around the small fine roots. So yeah, let's get the camera set up and I'll show you how to pot them up. Right, okay, so you can use dibbers or whatever. I just tend to use a split cane, nothing technical. So what you're going to do, let's pop those up there, you can see a bit easier then. You can hold the little seedling leaves, not the stems. So hold the seedling leaves because they won't damage. Then just using your little implement, go in below, but away from the plant, so then that way you're not going to spear directly into the root, and just with a little bit of force you'll then get that out. So again, using your implement into the compost, make a hole, and we'll just drop that root down into the center. If you need to use your little dibber or whatever to feed the root in, and do, and then the same thing, just use that to lightly firm the soil around. And you don't want to plant it any deeper than it was, because otherwise that will rot. Lightly firm around, and then once we've completed the tray, we're giving them a good old water. Okay, so that's the Eryngium seedlings all pricked out. You'll notice that these two are here as opposed to following on. Simple reason is when I pricked them out, half the root snapped, so I've popped them there just in case they survive. You never know. So all that's left to do now is give these a water, and then after that they can just sit for a few weeks to stabilise before they get moved out into the cold frame. So I've just done some watering. Thought I'd show you how the Eryngiums are now doing. So this is 2 weeks on from pricking them out of that seedling tray and into these individual cells, and you can see that they're all looking nice and happy, even those two that came out with sort of half a root zone. So yeah, they will now make some really good plants, and you can see that one in particular. Yeah, it's really motoring. That's now got its second set of true leaves. In actual fact, there's quite a few that are developing their second set of true leaves. So that's going to give me 21 plants to play with. So yeah, that's going to be great, especially as they're perennial as well. So once they're established, they keep going year on year. So I wanted to show you these Eryngiums 5 days on from last excerpt on the video. Been in the cold frame, no heat at all. I've had a couple of coldish days, but nothing too crazy. And you can see they're looking nice and tough, and actually being outside they sort of develop this slightly darker hue to the foliage. That's because they are toughening up, and the coldness sort of stunts them a little bit, so they sort of gain their strength. So yeah, nearly ready to plant out, which is great because just be good to get them established in the garden. But that is it. That's as simple as it gets really, from seed stage through to a viable plant stage. As I say, that is it. That's video done, from seed sowing through to plants. Just probably another fortnight, then they get planted out, and with a bit of luck they'll be producing some flower this year, and that'd be really good. As I say, plan is have them out the front of the house where it's dry and gets that neglect, because that's what Eryngium love. And these nice silvery grey foliage with the blue hue to the flower will look really good. So yeah, if you've got any questions on how to grow these, or indeed anything else that you'd like to know, then please send a message to me. I'll do my best to answer it for you. If you like what I'm doing, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that reminder button so you don't miss out on future videos I'm doing. And always say it so true, just enjoy yourself, have fun, and try growing something different. So try these perhaps. Till next time, bye for now.